Have you ever just felt incredibly overwhelmed by constant notifications, endless social obligations, and that pressure to always be on? Those moments where you just want to disappear for a while, not because anything is wrong, but just because something inside of you is generally calling for just more time to yourself, more time for you. Well, if you have, then this video is your permission slip to embrace what I like to call the art of entering your isolation era. And today, that's exactly what we're exploring. And who better to inspire us on how to enter that era than the queen of isolation herself, Miss Sade Adu. Some people also call her Sade, but it's pronounced Sade. Sade is a Grammy-winning artist who has been doing her thing for decades, y'all, and Sade has mastered the art of not appearing. She is a queen of isolation. She's the woman who has perfected the art of privacy, elegance, and timeless femininity. And today we're going to break down how Sade's reclusive approach to life can inspire us to basically cultivate our own periods of peaceful solitude. So go ahead, grab your favorite drink, get comfortable, and let's dive in. Okay, so the first art is to step back. And this is basically like Sade's approach to privacy. So let's talk about privacy. Sade is known for her reclusiveness. She'll disappear from the public eye for years between albums, like 8 to 10 to 15 years. She's just gone and you don't see nothing from her. You don't hear nothing from her. She is just gone, okay? Yet every time she emerges, it's like she's never been gone. That is the power of stepping back. It's the power of creating space for yourself away from the constant spotlight. And I think we can all learn something from that, because true femininity, it often requires us to step away from the social noise. It's about creating intentional periods of privacy where we can just cultivate our authentic selves without all the external pressures. It's about reclaiming your energy and allowing yourself to grow in peace. Just like Sade, give yourself permission to disappear for a while and to nurture yourself in private. Like, take time for yourself so you can glow up, refresh yourself, and just come out of it a better person. So the first thing to know is that isolation doesn't mean loneliness. It's about self-nurturing. Isolation really gets a bad rep, and that's because people think that it means you just got to be by yourself all the time in some drab room, looking at a wall, not talking to nobody. But that's not really how it is. Isolation and our isolation era is actually the perfect opportunity to create a sanctuary for yourself. Let's set the tone for our isolation era, because it's not about loneliness, it's about self-nurturing. So one thing that you want to do is create a sanctuary for you to isolate in. Your home, it should be your haven. So you want to declutter during your isolation phase or prior to it, it's up to you. You want to declutter your space. You want it to be a space that is beautiful, a space that helps you cultivate, a space where you can be creative in and relax at the same time. You want to be able to fill your space or your room with, soft music, fresh flowers, your favorite books. Turn it into a haven where you can basically practice self-care. Where, maybe that's journaling for you, or indulging in a hobby, or it's just to sit, just to be and be in your thoughts and think about things. So let's set up our space in a place that will cultivate creative thinking and, rest and just happiness. This is a time where you want to be in isolation from, the stressors of the world, but not necessarily from everything in the world. Set it up so that you have a nice space where you can watch your favorite shows in peace. Everything has been going crazy around you in the world and you just want to relax, you want to catch up on your shows. You can do that in isolation. You don't have to just be so restrictive about those things. Remember that your environment influences your energy, so make your personal space a reflection of your inner peace. You also, during your isolation era, you want to learn how to master the art of selective presence. So let's talk about socializing, or more importantly, like how we socialize. And Sade is a master of selective presence. You don't see her at every event or every social media platform. You don't see her at every Grammys or Oscar. Like, even though she is like top tier, you don't see her at all these events. She knows that less is more when it comes to when and where you show up, period. In our hyper-connected world, it's often easy to feel like we have to, constantly be available. So we always say yes to every invitation or request. But the thing is, you don't have to be everywhere. You don't have to always be on all the time. You don't have to be present at every family event. Like, you just don't have to be there. And don't let people, sway you or try to guilt you into being someplace that you don't want to be. Instead, focus on the quality of the event over the quantity. You got 30 days in a month. Don't fill your time up with 15 different events that you really don't even want to be part of. And don't go to events where people are just going to drain you of your energy. Don't go to the family function if you know that every time your aunties are there or your uncle is there or your cousins, somebody's hating on your body. Like, you've been putting effort and work into your body, trying to make sure you're fit and that you're healthy. And every time they see you, oh girl, you need to eat something. I guess you ain't gonna be eating none of Auntie Shirley's pie because you trying to be skinny all the time. We don't have time for that. Like, and even if you are a bigger girl and people just want to say, oh, I know you gonna get another plate, ain't you? They want to make fun of you and pick at you because they're not confident in their body. Don't go to places like that. You don't need to be around those people. So just preserve your energy. You want to also embrace the feminine arts during your isolation era. And Sade's music is one of those sounds that make me want to do this. Like, when you listen to it, it's so nostalgic and it's so feminine. When I hear Cherish the Day and I hear those guitars play in the beginning, it makes me want to like learn how to play an instrument. So, learn how to play the guitar or a piano. Practice your handwriting, because if you're like me, most of the things you do is texting. So learn how to write better so that people can read it and it can be legible. Dive into poetry or even master the art of letter writing. These are just activities that allow you to cultivate your mind, body, and spirit in ways that can be very rewarding. Use YouTube during this time. Use YouTube to learn about classic artists. And by artists, I mean like painters like Picasso, Monet, Van Gogh. Learn about these different artists so that you can pop up at an art museum event and know some of the artists who made these amazing pieces. Learn about poetry. Learn about wine tasting. All different things. Learn how to pair that wine with a nice cheese or your dinner. Learn how to cook. Learn how to make a roast chicken. Again, YouTube doesn't have to be for just mindless behavior. You can actually use it to grow and to learn and to do better in life. The next thing you want to do is learn how to refine your personal aesthetic. So let's talk about style. Specifically, the art of creating a signature look that feels like you. And Sade has been known for her timeless and understated elegance. So she doesn't follow trends, she sets them. So rather than succumbing to fast fashion, use your isolation era to refine your personal aesthetic. Spend time developing your wardrobe, work on your grooming routine and the way you carry yourself. This is a perfect time to work on your style. Find looks that feel more comfortable for you, that make you also feel confident. And one thing about Sade is you see her in these classic and timeless pieces. Like, even if she's wearing jeans, which we all know are very comfortable, she'll pair it with a beautiful, crisp white blouse. She'll wear a very natural makeup look, but have like a bold red lip. she really just, it's classic. Like, it's never going to go out of style at all. So spend this isolation era just learning how to cultivate your own style. Get rid of things in your closet that you don't really wear anymore, that aren't really your style, or maybe that just don't even look good on you. Maybe you've lost a lot of weight, maybe you've gained weight, whatever the case is. Get rid of the things that no longer fit you, and purchase new items that really look good on you. Another beautiful aspect of Sade is her energy and calm and centered presence. Like, anytime you see an interview of her, you can almost feel the peacefulness that she has.
And I believe the reason she's like that is because, she stays out of the spotlight. For all the fame and all the celebrity that she has, she spends time with herself and her family and bask in her isolation era. And when she does that, she's able to, reflect on her thoughts and dreams. And we see that she does that by listening to her music, because it's like an open diary. It's full of honesty and vulnerability. You think of songs like King of Sorrow, and you can just feel her pain and, her reflection, and just ultimately her acceptance of herself and the things that make her her, and the growth that she needs to do. That's what makes her music so timeless, because she embraces her emotions. And lucky for us, we get to hear that in her music. So during your isolation, you want to try and channel that same energy. Create a space for yourself and ask, why am I feeling this way? How can I stop myself from feeling this way? What is this emotion really trying to teach me? Like, why do I get mad every time this person does this? What is this really about? And the goal isn't to fix everything right away, but it is to give yourself grace to be able to feel it all. The joy, the sadness, the frustration. And that can be really uncomfortable, but that is where the magic happens. If you don't deal with those feelings and those emotions, you'll never be able to really become your true self and move past the things that trigger you or that have hurt you in the past.
And lastly, while you are in your isolation era, you want to master the lost art of mystique. One of the most powerful elements of Sade's aura is her mystique. She doesn't broadcast her every move on social media, nor does she feel the need to announce every change. Instead, she just lets her transformation unfold naturally and privately. She lets people notice her growth when she's ready to emerge. So when she pops out, you're going to know. Matter of fact, I think she just released a new song like a few months ago. Not even a few months ago, probably like a month ago. And it popped up on Sade Vivo channel, and hey, fans like me, we saw it, and we were ready for it because we hadn't heard from her in so long, and we knew that whatever she put out was about to be a masterpiece. But we've lost a little bit of that mystique in our digital age because we're so used to documenting every moment of our lives, putting everything on display, be it new job changes, relationship issues, which I'll emphasize again, you should not be putting online, weight journey, all kinds of things. We put all that stuff on display online, but true elegance is often about the subtle change. It's not about grand announcements. So be sure to keep your transformation private. For one, people can try to interfere with your transformation. They will try to get in your head and tell you that you can't do it. Some people also just try to hate on you, and they'll just try to hinder your growth because they're not growing. So ultimately, just let your confidence and your grace be felt and not seen step by step. And trust me, the world will notice when you emerge stronger, more centered, and more graceful than ever. And it will be all the more powerful because it was a quiet, peaceful journey. Like, you didn't have other people involved in it, other interferences. It's going to feel better to you because you've left people out of it and you've centered on yourself. So, darlings, as you move forward in your own isolation era, take inspiration from Sade. Create those quiet, peaceful spaces where you can heal and grow and reconnect with yourself. Be intentional about where and when you show up, and embrace those timeless feminine arts while cultivating your own inner elegance. Remember that true power and grace come from within, and sometimes, like, the best way to find those is through quiet reflection and self-care, which is why we need this isolation era, right? So if you're ready to start your own isolation era and step into your most elegant self, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more, and let me know in the comments, what's your favorite way to embrace solitude? Like, how are you going to spend your isolation era? So until next time, y'all, take care of yourselves, stay graceful, and I'll see you next time at the Ladies' Den. Bye.